we discussed briefly about how we're actually, as a global company, transitioning almost our customers to that global view. This community has migrated from being more of a local community. Now we're more of a global community, and that's really actually is going to add a lot more value from collaboration and working together. So we're very excited about how we're moving forward with this user conference. And this is a record, as you know, a record. And you've seen the whole thing. We're very excited. I mean, we believe what we've accomplished here is a platform that all our customers are going to be able to collaborate on. I mean, there's so many things that happens after this user conference. People want to know more about certain product. People want to know about certain challenges, how to fix this, how to fix that, and that's what really we're excited about. This platform will give them that.
Yeah. Now the real work starts after this conference.
It's exciting to be able to set the steps that you have to take as a community. I mean, we're just only a member of this community. We have the airports, we have the airlines, and we have our partners, we have our own group and employees. So we're only one part of it. So with collaboration, going back to the collaboration, is going to be an essential part to continue this, to move this one forward. Because a lot of times we end up getting feedback like, we talk about this in the conference, who can we go to? Right now what we're going to do, instead of just having them be coming into slowing to us, is like say, let's do peer-to-peer, let them talk to each other directly. And we've always preached that one, but it's getting a lot more with all the tools we're deploying for them to collaborate.
Yeah.
So we're very excited.
That's really interesting, peer-to-peer, because that's why this works so well.
If the shortest distance is between 2 points is a straight line, and that's what we always say is we want our customers to deal with each other. We're so proud of the fact that we have had every customer we've had, and we've always you have big challenges here and there, but at the end of the day they get satisfied, they give us a great references. So, and at the same time, we're comfortable with their feedback. We're comfortable that we're service them. So we have no concern or issue that if from one customer to call them, we want them to talk to each other. We want them to learn from each other. I mean, we're talking about thousands of years of experience exist in this room, and that's what we want them to leverage that.
Yeah. It's interesting. There are so many things that I want to touch on after you say that. Let's start with global. Mm-hmm. This is the first international invitees to this thing. You have some global partners here.
That's where, when you're a part of a global company, you have to start the transitioning of it. For years we've dealt with this one as a regional conference in a way right now, but there's a lot of technology that's happening in different continents, on different places, of different customers using it for different reasons, that we see it being part of our region here. With that said, what's the best way to communicate that? Is the people who's using it, and especially people who's using it and partner with us. As you heard, John was referring to the fact that a lot of product we develop, we actually by partnering with customers. This is the philosophy that really attracts all of us together as to be one group, is the fact that we put the customer first and we put them in the heart of all this. The customers need to understand, from our perspective, is that they drive our vision, they drive our product, they drive our support, they drive all the models that we do. We're actually very big on that. We do annual survey, and John mentioned it in his presentation, and we actually go through it with the senior management. We all get together and we spend hours analyzing, figuring out where we can improve and take the best initiative, the top initiatives we have to fix it, and the next year we go on more. So we're into always more of an agile model of improvement.
Mm-hmm. I really find it interesting that here you have old Air IT, upstart, fighter, and then this giant global company come in, but recognize the way you did it and the way you started it, and now they're implementing that regional aspect throughout the whole thing.
At the end of the day, I really believe that at the end of the day, everybody cares about their customers. They should if they don't. So with that said, when you put your customer first, then you start looking at what's the best model that would fit, providing that customer the best service they deserve to have. Because you know what, if you don't service them well, they can go somewhere else. So you need to take care of them. So with that said, when you have that model in place and you have it so successful, and when they came in here, during the acquisition process, and when they came in the first 2 years, they saw how our customers here, I mean, they love what we do. I mean, they're hard on us for some things, they want us to improve, but that only made us better. So putting that customer first just helped us. And by helping us, they realized there's a model that we can copy. And that's what John was saying. We looked at that, the way our IT used to do it. We see how their customers reacting to it. We see how the products are delivered. why can't we just copy the same thing for other regions? So now I'm glad that we have 3 different regions, and then we're all collaborating as regions, and we all take care of our customers because the airline is global. So really, where the airports are regional, right? So we have to work both the global and the regional side of it. But it's an exciting time. It's recognizing the customer's need and migrating towards that one instead of we're big, we can control it. It's just the customer we're very customer centric, and that's been a big initiative within Amadeus.
Yeah. You talk about the customer. That's really a changing face to IT, because it's not just these people that are buying your product, it filters all the way down to the basic customer that's on the plane. It's
we always talk about it as who's our customer, right? And I think we've had this discussion before in a lot of different conferences. If I can provide something to my customer, which is right now, if you think about it from a contractual sense, the airport is my customer, but that the airport provides services to their customer, which is the passenger. But as a provider that I can understand their need for their end customer, then I can think about it in a global sense. What am I delivering? Is just purely delivering one-on-one between me and then the airport, and not think about really with the end use? Because if their customer are not successful, none of us is going to be successful. So it has to be like the whole win-win-win situation to it for be successful. So that's the direction we've built the whole culture side of it. So we always think about who else is going to be impacted and what's the value side of it. And then when we meet with the customers, why you're doing this and how you're doing it. And we've been lucky because we're successful. We can be selective. If a customer doesn't understand our win-win situation, that we need to be both in the same boat servicing end user customers, and then yet there are our customer too. So we're not gonna be successful working with them. So that's why we're very selective about what we do with what customers.
Yeah. You mentioned straight, fastest point between 2 points, straight line. Is IT and Amadeus kind of directly involved in that airline and airport, talking to each other through IT, making those partnerships? How come we haven't done that 20 years ago? Why are we there now?
This is one of the exciting elements about being part of Amadeus. Amadeus has always been more of a focus on the airline side of it. And as you've heard today, and the airport started 5 years ago. So, but if we think about the way the process goes, the airport is really where everything converges. All the flight comes in, a lot of business processes happen, and then they take off. So what we're saying is, with our colleagues from the airline IT, is that the airport really is the center of operation if you think about what's happening for the airlines. And that's what give us as an Amadeus a strategic advantage, because we understand how the airlines operate. We can connect to them, we can get the information that we need to optimize certain processes. We can tell, within our system, we can say what's the best place to park a plane next on a plane, where the bag goes, etc. So there's a lot of processes, and that's what makes us so excited about what's going to happen in the future. The information exists, you can share them, but the biggest issue to use them. Yeah. Sharing information is okay, but using the information and making decision on them is what we excel at, and that's what we're pushing for.
And I think somewhere like Myrtle Beach that has you guys, they are really putting that information to work. This is where we've talked about, this is where big data is going to make a difference.
Most airports have really started their journey about big data a few years ago. And the idea behind it is you have to protect the privacy of the passenger. There's no question about it. And the airlines have their own way to protect it. Yet at the same time, there is information that I can get without knowing who the person is, or their special information that we cannot share. But if we know that stuff, then we can optimize the processes. We can deliver more data. We can tell the airports their peaks and valleys and how to utilize their resources. Instead of building more gates, why don't you optimize? Optimization, you need to know the data, you need the tools, the airlines coming in. That's where the Amadeus' vision comes from. So bring all this data together and be able to make decisions without invading any of the privacy, which is the biggest aspect for us.
Yeah. It always boils down to cost. Yeah. With this data, people are optimizing and they're saving money. So that saves money for the airport, and it filters down to the airlines, which is a huge deal for them. Where do we go from here? I mean, this is exciting.
It's always interesting. We've been doing this for years, and every time we look at it, we look at there's an opportunity to look at this industry and optimize, to actually make sure it's not about cutting costs by laying people off. It's about doing things more efficiently, doing things more better than they've done before. What's happening is we're realizing is even though they're reducing their cost, they were able to use in more investment in other elements of it. So for us, it's helping them use whatever budgets they have, and can they reduce the cost of the airline? That's great, but can they use the money to actually do more things, customer experience, traveler's experience? I would like to walk into an airport and be able to get what I need to get, be able to get to pick up what I want to drink or what I want to eat, be able to have a comfortable environment, be able to sit at the gate and go in, board without even maybe just doing it with facial recognition or even with biometrics. Just make sure that we can do all that stuff. And the only way you can do it is if you start with the optimizing process, and after that you start thinking what else we could do. And I think a lot of airports are starting to get this message, and actually some of them are driving this message that we need to get into biometrics, we need to get into facial recognition. But the only way you can get it is if you get your hand around your processes within your airport. Because when you can do that, when you can do a lot of stuff, you can reduce your cost to invest into the area. This is a growing industry. We know it's going to be growing more. So if we save money in one area, it's not going to be just purely reducing costs in that area, and they're going to be able to cut that one out. It's going to give them the potential to invest and improve their operation more and more.
Anything else you want to talk about? We've covered a lot.
We're so excited today and about this user conference, and I think just looking at this user conference, looking how many people we have. We have almost 250. This is a record. But we have the cool thing that we take pride of is we have almost 43 employees to pay attention to all those customers, because we have all the experts they need. We have all the functional experts and the technical expert, not just technical expert, because we believe this is the platform that truly is going to take everybody into the future with collaboration. They're going to network, they got to collaborate and learn. Although they can solve any complex problem they see at their business. So we're very excited about the future.
It is like a family reunion, isn't it?
It's interesting when you look around, like, oh my God, I've seen this one a few months ago, but I haven't seen this person 6 months ago. So we like the fact that everybody feels that comfortable enough to be able to give us to be able to talk to us directly, to be able to give us a direction. Because how can you improve a company when you're out of touch with your customers? You need to be able to the customers, and when you have here the people, and we have users, and we have higher level people, there's different levels of people up here. So when you look at operational people, IT people, we have a total mix. So we can get the ideas that we need to improve ourselves moving forward, not just purely from them, from collaborating with them. We have some ideas, they have some ideas, and we end up with the best solution for all. So it's an exciting time. We always love having it here. And we see it grow every year, and every year we try to improve it. And this year we made it more global, because we believe that right now we need to leverage the Amadeus' global aspect of it. We have, as you mentioned, we have people from different continents. So we're very excited about how over the next 2 days, all the feedback we're going to get and the things we're going to learn, how it's going to shape our future. Because our vision is to shape the future of travel.